Hey guys, it's Leon. Today I got me a comparison between the iPad Air M1 chip to the iPad Pro M2. As I was looking to buy the iPad, these two came up and I look at it and I go, what is the big difference here? I mean, obviously if you look at this right now, you can see that the camera is the only thing that's changed, but in terms of the casing, the aesthetic, everything is the same. And then I look at the cases that are available for these, and I realize they say iPad Pro 11-inch will fit with the iPad Air 10-inch. So I'm thinking to myself, wow, that is a huge similarity when cases are basically saying that, hey, it'll fit with both devices. Anyway, that's why I wanted to do this video. Hopefully it'll help you at the end of this video. So let's jump right into it. The accessory, the case. Now I have one case that you're probably going to be interested in as soon as you get this. This is not the official Apple keyboard folio case. It's an aftermarket one. Here's the iPad Pro. Magnetic on there. Fits just fine. The camera right here looks good, right? And drop the iPad Air on top of it. Same. Magnetic. It's tight, so the magnetic piece is in the same spot, I think. Don't know that for a fact, but it's pretty tight. Now look at the camera bump. Same. Guys, this case is made, I mean, if you see the cutout of the camera bump, it's made for the iPad Pro 11-inch, and yet check this out. It fits. It stays in there. So all of these manufacturers are actually taking advantage of the same size, the same, I guess, magnet placement, because it's pretty tight on there. Once I put it on. Now, Apple pretty much named this iPad Pro 11-inch, while it names the iPad Air 10.9 inch. Okay, so there's a 0.1 inch difference. So let's put it side by side. This is literally butting up against each other, and there's no difference here, guys. I mean, you're not gonna see the difference at all to the naked eye. That 0.1 inch is, I guess I don't know. I guess I can feel it a little bit right here, but that's not 0.1 inch. I don't know. It's not the same at all. The 0.1 inch comes from probably right here. Tiny differences right there. That's the 0.1 inch for you. In terms of how thick the bezel are, if you look right here, the iPad Air, which is the top one, are slightly thicker. You can tell by the camera right there. You can definitely tell by the camera right there. It's slightly thicker. Now, in terms of the display, the iPad Pro has 600 nits versus the iPad Air is 500 nits. I really can't show you that on the actual camera here because it adjusts to the brightness, but to the naked eye, you can definitely see that the white on this screen, the iPad Pro is whiter and brighter, slightly, while the iPad Air, it's a bit dimmer, I guess. So I think that's where the 500 versus the 600 nits are going into. I can definitely see that this thing is a lot brighter on the iPad Pro. So let's talk about the differences between these two devices. The most major thing for me is on the iPad Air, it does have Touch ID right here. So you put your finger over this and it'll unlock your device. While on the iPad Pro, it doesn't have Touch ID, but it does have a LiDAR camera, and so it's using Face ID to unlock your devices. If I were to tilt this a little bit, you can see that there's a lot more, what do you call it? hose, camera hose on here. I'm sure you can see that. But yeah, it uses Face ID on iPad Pro versus iPad Air is Touch ID. To be honest with you, I prefer Touch ID over Face ID, but that's just me. The other differences between the iPad Air and the iPad Pro here is the Thunderbolt. iPad Pro has Thunderbolts, while iPad Air just have the regular USB-C. And if you guys know, Thunderbolt is basically USB-C, but transfer rate is a little bit faster. Okay, I wouldn't say a little bit, a lot faster. So if you're one of those that, you know, connects a bunch of stuff into your iPad, probably Thunderbolt is the way to go. So if you do connect a bunch of stuff to your iPad, you're probably like a pro. So I would say iPad Pro would be the way to go. Other differences is Wi-Fi. The iPad Pro has Wi-Fi 6E versus the iPad Air only has Wi-Fi 6. Wi-Fi 6E is a newer standard, faster, that kind of stuff. Huge difference is the fact that on iPad Pro, obviously you can see that it has a better camera system, or more camera system, I should say, not better. On both of these, it has a 12 megapixel camera system with an f1.8. It's already pretty darn good. But now on the iPad Pro, they also added an ultra wide camera on there as well. It is a f2.4 ultra wide, and so if you're looking to like do landscape photography or video, this is probably gonna be the way to go for you. The wide angle camera alone is actually pretty good to me, but on the Pro, ultra wide, guys, which with the ultra wide is gonna make your landscape photo and video super awesome. iPad Air got Smart HDR3 versus iPad Pro has Smart HDR4. Honestly, I turn HDR off as soon as I get these devices. I just can't do it. Yeah, it takes one extra step for me to edit when I get into Final Cut, and so I usually turn that thing off so that it doesn't mess with my workflow. The other thing is speakers. iPad Air has 2 speakers, while iPad Pro has 4 speakers. The thing that bugs me the most is that Apple, on iPad Air, it will only let you go up to 256 gig. And on the bottom end is 64 gig. Who uses 64 gigs anymore? Anyway, yeah, up to 256. So if you're looking for more than that to edit video and things like that, I think you're gonna have to go with the iPad Pro, because the iPad Pro will go 512, 1 terabyte, even 2 terabytes. Yeah, pretty incredible on the iPad Pro, but on the iPad Air, I think Apple knows what they're doing. They're basically saying, let's not increase the storage on this so that people can jump over to iPad Pro. Yeah, guys, that's the one thing that really bugs me as I was purchasing these 2 devices. All right, guys, so there you go. That's the comparison between the iPad Air M1 versus the iPad Pro M2. Those are the features that are the most important to me. I also hope that this video helps you determine which is best for you, because really, both devices are fantastic. It just all depends on how you are using it and what features are important to you. iPad Air M1 versus iPad Pro M2. To me, they're both great devices, and if you're at this point where you're actually picking out one or the other, I think you're pretty good. So good luck to you on that one, and I will see you in the next episode. Have a good one. Bye-bye.